Hello everyone, how's it going, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a guide for you all. The queen of the mid lane, Orianna. Somehow she got untouched during the patch notes, and she is by far one of, if not the best mid laner at the moment in the current meta. In this guide I'll be going through the builds, abilities, tips and tricks, and we'll have a full gameplay as always at the end of the video from my stream. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of content on this channel for Wild Rift, including guides, gameplay, patch notes, rundowns, and so much more. So make sure you stick around because there'll be a lot more content coming out really soon, especially with all the new champions coming out as well over the next couple of months. First off, with Orianna, let's go through the items. First off, we have the Archangel Staff. And now the Archangel Staff has kind of two items to it. You have the Archangel Staff version, and you have the Ceres Embrace version. The reason why this is really good on Orianna is because with Orianna, her mana cost for her abilities are really low, and you'll be spamming out your abilities quite a lot during the game. The Archangel Scarf grants ability power equal to 1% of maximum mana and refunds 20% of all mana spent. And it also increases max mana by 15 every single time mana is spent, every single time an ability is used. It caps at 700 bonus mana, and it also then transforms into Ceres Embrace. Triggers up to 3 times every 12 seconds. Now, Ceres Embrace is where this item really does kick in. As you can see on the right hand side there, Ceres Embrace, you get a maximum of 1200 mana, which is a lot. You get a bit of ability power and a bit of ability haste, the cooldown reduction as well. And instead this time, it grants ability power equal to 3% of the maximum mana, so that goes up, and also still refunds the 25% of mana spent. The good thing about Ceres Embrace is the second passive, the Lifeline. Damage that puts you under 35% HP, consumes 50% of your current mana, which is normally quite a lot at this stage of the game, to grant a shield equal to that amount plus 150 on top of that as well for 2 seconds. So it gives you that bit of a protective edge and that defensive edge. And like I said, you'll be getting the Ceres Embrace, the upgraded version of Archangel Staff, very quickly with Orianna. Next up we have Liandry's Torment. Now again, another item that is really strong at the moment. I'm very surprised this got completely untouched. Pretty much used for any AP champion at the moment. Kennen, Orianna, Aurelion Sol, you name it, they probably build Liandry's Torment. It just gives so much stats and is so effective, especially in team fights. The crazy part is the Madness part, which is the passive. Deals 2% more damage for each second in combat against champions, capped at 10% after 5 seconds. 10% more damage when in a team fight and when you're attacking champions is absurd. It's absolutely mental. And also damaging abilities and empowered attacks deal 1% of the enemy's maximum health as bonus magic damage over 3 seconds. This damage doubles if they are slowed or immobilized. And obviously with Orianna you have the Shockwave, which will immobilize them, and you also have the W, the second ability as well, which if you land it on a champion, they will be slowed. So most of the time you will be doing that extra damage, that extra double damage as well with Liandry's Torment. Next up we have the Boots upgrade. Again, for most AP champions you want to go for the ability haste, the cooldown reduction. And then for the Boots upgrade, we've gone for Zhonya's. Zhonya's is really good on Orianna because she doesn't really have any mobility or anything like that. So if you're against an assassin like a Zed or a Yasuo, it's very good to kind of protect yourself for that 2.5 seconds with the status effect when you activate it. Then we've gone for Rabadon's Death Cap, just a really strong item for ability power champions. Grants you 130 AP, and it also increases ability power by 40% as well, so you can really start hitting really hard. Then we've gone for Morellonomicon for the extra magic penetration, and also granting the grievous wounds as well, because at this stage there might be a few champions, especially the AD carries, that will be healing. You've got the likes of Olaf at the moment, which is quite popular. He heals quite a lot as well. And then the last item, if you do get to this late in the stage, you can go for Void Staff. Void Staff got a lot of ability power and even more magic penetration as well. At this stage of the game, in the late game, there'll be a lot of champions that will be starting to build Magic Resist because they'll realize how much damage you are actually doing as Orianna. An honourable mention as well for items, you can go for the Infinity Orb. If you see that the enemy team is not building that much magic resist, you can go for the Infinity Orb to deal that extra crit damage when they're below a certain number of HP. Especially when you're hitting the ultimate combo with the W, you can really deal with that big massive amount of damage with the Infinity Orb. But it really depends on what the enemy team is building, so you just have to keep an eye out and kind of flex your build depending on if they have healing, then you want to go Morello before. If they've got a lot of magic resist, you want to go for Void Staff before. Or if they have none of the above, you can go for the Infinity Orb and deal that big massive critical damage. Now onto the runes. First up we have Electrocute. I've seen various different options for Orianna. Electrocute for me is really strong. Orianna's very good during the early laning phases, being able to trade out against the enemies and being able to get that extra bit of damage off when you hit 3 separate attacks or abilities. A few other options you can go for the first rune. You have Summon Airy, which your attacks and abilities send an Airy to the target. You also get some extra damage off. You can also get an extra shield as well. So if you use your third ability on Orianna, you get a shield. So this will also grant a bonus shield as well. It's a bit more of a defensive rune, I would say. Doesn't deal as much damage as Electrocute. And you also have Conqueror as well. Conqueror stacks quite fast on Orianna because you'll be using your first ability a lot to be able to poke out the enemies, doing a lot of damage, and also your cooldown reduction will be quite low. So Conqueror will happen quite a lot. But really depends what sort of playstyle you have, really. I would say Electrocute is more for if you want to go aggressive in the early laning phases. If you feel like you can win the laning phase, and you can use Electrocute to poke out the enemy, as I said. Airy is more of a, I would say, defensive option, can give you more of a shield, but also do a little bit of extra damage as well if you poke them down. Or you can go for Conqueror, and mainly for the team fights. When you're doing a lot of damage over a long period of time, you get the Conqueror proc to deal that extra bit of damage over the long run. Next up, we've had Brutal. I've mentioned this before, but Brutal is a lot better than Gathering Storm on Ability Power Champions. It grants you 14 Ability Power and 2 Magic Penetration. Again, with Gathering Storm, you'll need to be quite into the mid and late game to be able to get as much as 14 ability power. So Brutal is just a better option and gives you that bit of damage during the early laning phases again to be able to win the trades out against the enemy champions. We've gone for Regeneration as the second rune. With Regeneration, it works really well with Archangel's Staff. As I said before, you'll be getting plus 1,200 maximum mana, and your spells do not really use that much mana. You'll realize that during the late game, you'll have so much mana that you can keep spamming out the spells. And the great thing is with Regeneration, if your health is below your mana, you'll keep on regenning that health. And the last one, as always, I love a bit of Sweet Tooth, so I've got to go with the Sweet Tooth. I think it's really good. You get the extra bit of gold, the extra healing for laning phase as well. And for some of the spells, as always, we've gone for Flash. I'd like to take a more defensive second spell for Orianna. I don't feel like you need an aggressive one like Ignite or something like that, because you kind of don't want to get in the range to ignite them, and most of the time you'll be using your abilities as damage and not the Ignite spell. So again, more defensive spell to be able to keep yourself more protected. Barrier is a good option. You also have Heal, which is a really good option as well. And even Exhaust sometimes could be very good. Exhaust could be good against the likes of Zed, Yasuo. So again, have a look at your matchup. Try and adapt your play depending on what matchup you have. And hopefully you can win out them duels. That's all for the items, runes, and spells. Let's move on to the abilities. First up for Orianna, we have her passive, which is Clockwork Wind Up. Orianna's ball acts as a focal point for her abilities, which we'll go into in a second. It automatically returns to her if the ball is too far away from her. That's one point of the passive. The next part of the passive is where she really comes into play in the early game. Attacks deal 22 bonus magic damage. Subsequent attacks against the same target within 4 seconds deal an additional 5 magic damage, stacking up to 2 times. So every single time you attack the same champion, you'll be dealing magic damage, but on top of that, you'll also be dealing bonus magic damage as well. For Orianna's first ability, we have Command Attack. Commands the ball to fire towards a target location, dealing a little bit of magic damage to targets along the way. The damage decreases by 10% depending on how many units it hits. After the ball has been placed, the ball will stay in that location until Orianna moves away from the ball. With the ability, as you can see, you've got a nice little aim mechanic, I guess you can call it, with the Orianna ball. As you throw the Orianna ball out, you can see that the ball is now away from her and towards her. You can go and pick up the ball if you want to as well. Also, if you move too far away from the ball will come back towards you. Now, the way you can tell if Orianna's ball is too far away from you and it's going to come back to you very, very soon is there's a little arrow next to Orianna. As you move further away from the ball, the arrow turns from blue to orange, and then if you're really far away, it turns red. Then when it turns red and you move even further away, the ball will come straight back to you. You can also lock onto champions, minions, and monsters to make this spell a lot easier. Just use your target lock or your portrait lock, and all you have to do is tap the ability, and the ball will always go to the target you have locked onto. Makes this ability a lot easier, so you're not aiming it all the time. Next up, for Orianna, we have her second ability, which is Command Dissonance. Commands the ball to release an electric pulse, dealing a little bit of damage to nearby enemies. The pulse leaves behind an energy field for 3 seconds, slowing down the enemies and also speeding up your allies for 2 seconds. And the effect goes away after a short period of time. Now, with Orianna, the main thing to note is that with the other abilities, so the second and the third ability, and even her ultimate, it always activates where the ball is. The ball is your main point of damage. It's not to do with where your champion stands. It's all about where the ball is. So your ball is your primary point. Keep your eye on the ball. Make sure that the ball does not leave your sight. So with the second ability, depending on where the ball is, when you activate it, as you can see, there's a little circle, like a clockwork circle around the target. It will deal damage. It will also slow enemies. But at the same time, it will also speed up allies as well. So you can put it on yourself, and you can just use the ability once to speed up and give you that little bit of movement speed. Next up for Orianna, we have Command Protect. Commands the ball to attach to an allied champion, grant a shield that absorbs a little bit of damage, and deals magic damage to champions between the ball and whoever you are shielding. So basically anything that passes through the ball and the person that you use the ability on. Really, really easy and self-explanatory skill, this one. Again, you're just using your ball. Again, remember, the ball is always the key, and you're going to protect a target. So that's all you need to do. This also works great with the second ability. You can use your third ability to an ally, use your second ability, and it will give them the movement speed. So you can use this on your front line to be able to speed them up quite a lot into the mid and late game. The great thing about the third ability as well is if you've lost the ball, if you have no idea where your ball has gone, you can use the third ability to call it back and start off fresh, start off from where you began. And like I said, it gives you that extra bit of shielding and armor and magic resist as well. So no harm in just calling the ball back sometimes to give you a refresh start to see where your ball is and start using it towards the enemies or your allies. And last off, we have Command Shockwave. Commands the ball to unleash a shockwave, dealing a big amount of magic damage and launching nearby enemies towards the ball after a brief delay. Really, really a powerful ability, especially in team fights as well. When you use the ability, just make sure again that your ball is in the right place. Use the ability, and as you can tell, it does a huge, massive shockwave. The main thing to note here is, as mentioned in the description, is that the enemies will always be pulled towards where the ball is. So depending on where your ball is will be where your enemies will move to. So if you want the enemies to come closer to you, then you can put the ball a little bit in front and use a shockwave so then they come towards you. Or you can use it as a defensive tool and pull the enemies away from you if you want to try and disengage, and that will then push them away. Again, you can use this in combination with your other abilities as well. You can use it as a shield on an allied target, use a shockwave, and it will pull the dummy towards them. It will pull the enemy towards that target. Funny thing, but good thing to note as well, you can also use your shockwave on yourself. Sometimes this is very useful if you don't feel confident in yourself. You can flash into the middle of the team, use your ultimate, and it will do the shockwave and pull everyone towards you. Not normally the best option, but a nice little tip there to help you all out. So leveling up Orianna, for the first ability, you always want to go for the ball, the first ability, to use your ball and to poke down the enemies a little bit and also help you farm. And as you level up, you want to get your second ability as your second spell to be able to poke down the enemies and to help you clear the waves. And as you level up, you want to get your third ability, and you want to max the first ability first to get that cooldown reduction and to be able to use your ball as much as you can. Then you want to level up your second ability, obviously making sure that you level up your ultimate as much as you can. And then lastly, the command protect, the third ability. That's it for my in-depth guide of Orianna. Hopefully this helps out. I'm going to show you a gameplay now that I played on stream with Orianna. It's on my Smurf account, but nevertheless, it shows you the real benefits and shows you how strong Orianna is at wave clearing, at dealing a lot of damage, and especially during the early game as well, and even in team fights. So, hope you enjoy the gameplay. See you all very soon. Who against mid lane this game? Against a Lux? No. Is it Yasuo again? Wait, no. Lux. No, Kennen. No, it's Lux support. Like Kennen or Yasuo. It's probably going to be Yasuo, Kennen top. Timo, bad runes, just so you know, bro. It's like people know what they're talking about in gold. It's kind of crazy. Wait, it's Kennen mid? I didn't mean to do that. I was meant to click the... Yeah, Ken, I don't know why you're trying to fight me. I'll be totally honest with you. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, Chief. Just one more wave here, then we'll go back. Yeah, I don't know who in chat has seen the patch 2.1 preview. Who in chat has seen it so far? I don't know if anyone's had a look at it so far. Bunch of new champions coming out, new changes and everything. Definitely does look pretty good. I plan on doing a guide with Orianna. I mean, I might take one of these gameplays and do a guide on Orianna next couple of days for sure, yeah. I see that. I'm very hyped, yeah. I am hyped indeed as well. It's going to be exciting. I definitely want to kind of go out my comfort zone and do more guides on more champions for sure. I mean, what guides would you lot want to see on my YouTube channel? Let me know. And I'll try and get some gameplay. Because what I like to do in my guides, I like to go through like the skills, the runes, the build, etc. And then I want to go into like a full gameplay video from my stream. Then you can see like how a normal game works. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, I didn't hit the cannon. I did not realize that cannon was going to flash on me like that. What the hell? What a madman. Oh, that's so sad, actually. I'm just going to wait for my my Seraph's Embrace. My Archangel Staff, sorry, it's called. Not Seraph's Embrace, Archangel Staff. Let's go. Are you going to play Zai when she comes out? 100%. I'm going to be buying her day one, Keller. Welcome back to the stream, by the way, Keller. I recognise that name. Hope you're doing well, mate. Sorry, chat. It's kind of hard to read chat and try and talk at the same time. But I will try and respond to all your messages.
Retreat from the enemy champion. Bottom turret is under attack. On my way. Ally slain.
Garden Chief.
Enemy. Bottom turret is under attack. On my way. Danger.
Got him, Chief. Not a bad start, chat. Even though I died from that one gank, it's not a bad start indeed. Do I need Magi Resist this game? I think I do, don't I?
Bottom turret is under attack.
Magi Resist is not a bad shout, honestly. I just realized, why is my...
Attack the dragon. On my way.
This is very exciting.
That's what I'm really excited about the new champion. I'm more interested in balance changes though. I hope they,
Retreat.
they're going to do some balance changes tomorrow. I'll be putting a video on my
Retreat.
my YouTube channel as soon as that comes out, for sure. As soon as that comes out, there'll be a video straight on my YouTube channel
Motivating.
about all the changes. One nerf that I'm expecting is the obviously the Kennen nerf, which I think everyone wants. Everyone wants to see this little devil nerfed. Such a busted champion. I don't know where the Mumu is. Oh, the Mumu's top. I'm fine.
Slain. Top turret is under attack.
Which champion do you think will be clapping? Wait, what do you mean by clapping? As in, like, what new champion do I think will do well?
Turret is under attack.
Is that what you mean? What the fuck is this shit?
On my way.
Woo! No, dodge. Oh, I dodged it, chat. Let's go. Oh my god, that was so clean. I can probably stay as well, actually.
Has spawned.
Oh my god, that was so clean. Kevin tried to flash on me again. Like, what is this? Honestly, I think Orianna is one of the strongest mid laners. I'll be very surprised if she doesn't get a nerf tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Orianna and Aurelion Sol are like the two strongest mid laners right now. It's crazy. You see your teammate getting chased, do not help them. They will leave most of the time. True. New champions would be great too. Wait, new items would be great too. What new items do you think? Oh yeah, like Rage Blade and things like that. I guess you mean.
Your team has slain the dragon.
I guess you mean items like that. Let's go for
Slain.
the Andrew. Where's the Andrew?
Time ticks.
Yeah. So out of the new champions, Zyra Khan will be really strong. Leona will be really strong as well because Leona has a lot of crowd control. And so will Pantheon as well. Pantheon's a really strong early game champion. And Wild Rift is, at the moment, a lot of it is based on early game plays and early game dragons. So Pantheon will be really strong as well, I think. Diana, I'm not too sure. Diana, I don't think will be too strong. But we'll have to wait and see what happens to like balance changes and things like that as well.
Motivating.
Top turret is under attack. Turret lost. Attack the turret.
Why have I got two people mid lane here?
Ally slain. On my way. Group.
Got him, Chief.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Okay, we should probably go back here.
Retreat. Retreat.
Bro, can I have my fucking farm, please? I'm just not going to be able to get any farm this game, am I?
Retreat.
Oh shit, TP.
Danger.
Oh, that one, Chief. Shit, he's going in.
Retreat. Ally slain.
Motivating.
Alright, let's go back. I got 2,000 gold right now. I really need to go back. Thanks for showing more extra yesterday. Hope you are going well as well. Oh, good shit, killer. That's what I like to see. That is what I like to hear and see. Diamond next for you, Keller, for sure. Usually when I do that, the game puts me on 1 FPS and I get you.
This is a fun game.
Baron Nashor has spawned. Danger. Retreat. Retreat.
Why is everyone just constantly mid lane this game? What is happening?
Danger. Group. Attack the turret. Attack this champion has spawned. Enemy slain. Rampage.
Everyone's just constantly mid lane this game. I don't know why either.
Enemy turret is
Not like anything's happening.
attack the dragon.
Oh, team mushrooms. Hello.
Group. On my way.
Oh, I kind of messed up there. I could have killed him really, really easily.
Danger.
Kind of messed up. That's really, really sad. I thought I should have killed him. Not sure about new items, but they did mention the right broadcast. I think they're planning to bring the mythic. Oh yeah, I saw that, Keller. Yeah, they might be slowly bringing in like the updated version, you can call it, of League of Legends items to Wild Rift. But it'd be very interesting the way they do that. To be honest, be very interested to see how they would do that with like the mythic items, as you said. Top's the most effective CC, I think, in terms of team fights. There's a lot more that is stronger. Amumu ulti, Wukong ultimate, Kennen ultimate. There's a lot of abilities that are stronger in terms of CC because they're, you know, because there's a lot of champions. But Charm is definitely good. Can I survive here? I couldn't survive. I was CC'd for days there. I mean, I got the Kennen. Oh, here we go. We win the whole fight anyway. Yeah, we're good. Nice. Good job, team.
Attack the nexus. Enemy. Attack the nexus.
Do you get anything from tanking up? What do you mean, Phoenix? What do you mean by tanking up? Diamond would be sick, yeah.
Engage.
I'm sure you'll get that, Keller, for sure. Just keep improving, keep playing, and you'll be good.
Engage.
Keep playing, keep improving. That's the only advice I can really give. Make sure that you keep improving yourself.
Retreat.
I'm not really too sure if this is the best build for Orianna. I mean, it's going okay for now.
Group.
Oh, ranking? Oh. Not really, no. The only thing you get is you get like a border, a banner
Retreat.
to like show your rank, and if you get gold and above, you get the Trendemir skin. That's the only thing you get at the moment in terms of rewards.
Enemy turret.
Oh shit.
On my way. You have slain
Outplayed.
enemy.
That chat is what we call outplayed.
Retreat.
I'm actually really enjoying Orianna. Orianna's actually super, super fun.
Danger.
I will go for Death Camp next.
Why are they running?
That's a pretty nice outplay, to be honest. Really, really nice outplay.
Attack the nexus.
Nice. GG. Very, very nice game. That's some nice little plays there. Some plays that we could have done better, but some nice plays for sure. Really, really nice game.
Victory.
Victory! Damn. 21,000 damage that game as well. It's kind of a lot of damage. Pretty cray-cray.